That's where we're going to end it. 5 years later.
Yes, sir.
5 years later. I'm glad this happened, man.
No doubt.
I'm glad this happened.
No
I have no regrets whatsoever over making this become a reality. And I don't think anyone saw it coming.
No, they definitely didn't.
And I think people miss you on VladTV.
And I'm not gonna lie, over those 5 years, I definitely had mad people, even people close to me. You should go back on Vlad. I'm telling you, bro. You need to. Yo, y'all shit was so classic. That fucking era, there was nothing like that on the internet. Y'all two together, your fucking chemistry was da 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 da. And it's just like, all right, I hear you.
Well, you know what it is? It really made sense when I talked to your son this one time. We were, I think, in Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. It was, we were all outside. You guys were doing some sort of performance, some sort of block party type thing. And me and him were just outside. And, I'm Lord Jamar. So, oh, what up? Like, we just talking. And I said, why do you think me and your dad do the type of numbers that we do and get the type of reaction? He said, well, I think it's the interaction between you two. I said, oh, huh. I wasn't expecting that answer. He goes, there's something about the way you two interact, because you have two people that are never would have naturally met. You know what I mean? If we were not in the same business, if we were just going through our lives.
Right. The chances
are zero, essentially. But here we are, and neither one of us really backs down from our principles. So when we talk, we're having to basically defend our ideas to each other without the other person really like folding and so forth. And I think that people like to take their side in the argument through us.
Right. Well, I think they like, I would give you intellectual pushback that I think a lot of your other guests may not, just that not necessarily was in them. Like,
yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. We definitely had a lot of classic moments and interviews and shit like that. And I felt like the shit that we was doing was helping to balance out some of the other shit you do. You know what I mean? All the crime shit and all that type of shit. Like,
I mean, I'm actually kind of proud of some of that stuff, man. Honestly.
What? With the crime shit?
Some of the true crime interviews and so
well,
forth.
I'm just saying, like, some of this shit, it's like, are we glorifying these people? Are we glorifying these fucking drug dealers who fucking fucked up the community and all that? Because I'm gonna be honest, like, if there was a show and they were like interviewing fucking Nazi guards or some shit like that,
I'd want to see it.
Would you? Absolutely. Like an interview show every week? Like,
100%.
But
I'd want to know what led them to doing what it is that they do.
Right. But see,
I'm not. See, but then again, I don't shy away.
A lot of times we like. Do you interview the fiends? Do you ever
drug
interview
addicts?
Fiend? Like, yeah, drug addict, like the people that have been affected by the drug dealers.
Yes.
Because
yes,
it seems like the drug dealers, they get glorified in society, but they're the ones actually causing fucking problems and shit like that.
I understand
and maybe
that.
we need to talk to the people who have been affected by these people.
Well, look. Number one, you have never seen me interview a former drug dealer where the story ends well. Think about that.
Yeah.
Think about that.
I mean, it's hard for the shit to end well when you deal drugs.
I'm interviewing them after they've done 20 years in prison.
Right.
And we talk about the prison.
But for some people, right, the fact that you even interviewing them is like a reward.
Yes, but you are not going to say in any society in the world that people have not romanticized the outlaw.
Okay.
Nowhere in the world.
So now going back to the Nazi, right? do you think that Jewish people would think it was offensive if there was a show that like interviewed ex-Nazis, you know, and like, you know?
I actually think that they would. I think this is why you have Holocaust museums and so forth. I think people should see that. And I don't think it should be hidden. I think it's a lot better to interview people and to put that information out there as opposed to hide it. Think about it. Up to a certain point, slavery was not even mentioned in schools. The reason why the movie and the book Roots was so significant was because there's no slave stories up to that point. Alex Haley went totally left from what everyone around him was doing and started doing stories about slavery. At that point, which is what, the 70s?
Right, but he also helped to confuse shit too. But
okay, well, I don't know about that part.
Can of worms.
I don't know about that part, but think about it. Roots was a phenomenon because, yes, it had a lot of incredible, you know, actors and producers and everything else like that. Like basically, who did I? We did the interview with Amos.
Oh yes, John Amos.
John Amos, thank you. Who was in Roots.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. He was in Roots, and he was saying how like
that's Kunta.
Yeah, that's Kunta. Kunta Kinte, right? And you know, we were talking about how like no one had done anything like this before. When Alex Haley did Roots, in fact, the way he even did Roots, he got like he was paid by Reader's Digest to start writing short stories. And it was considered like, whoa, like where did this come from? And that turned into a book, which then turned into a movie. And once the movie started being made, like every black actor wanted to be part of it. Like everyone, like we didn't care about the money, whatever. We all, you know, like he was saying how we all just wanted to just have some sort of role in this and so forth. And that became one of the biggest shows of that era. Like it totally surpassed expectations and so forth. But no one had ever talked about it before. It had never been on a TV show. It's never been in books. America was trying to erase slavery. They were trying their best to do it.
But everybody has talked about drug dealers before. I see what you're saying about this, but America glorifies the criminals for the longest time. Gangster movies in the 20s and 30s
There's
and all this type of shit.
In England, there's gangster movies, I'm sure in Jamaica. What's the biggest Jamaican movie that we all know?
Shotas.
Exactly. What does the word shotas mean? What does it mean?
Shooters.
Exactly. What's the movie about?
Some gangster shit.
Drug dealing, gangsters, shooting, everyone dies at the end. You know, spoiler alert. Like seriously,
well,
this is Jamaica.
Shotas by now, goddamn.
This is Jamaica. We all do it in every country, all across the board. But one thing I don't do is I don't glorify. The one thing I do is show, yeah, you could do this, and yeah, you'll have the finest women, you'll have the best cars, you'll pop champagne and so forth. And for every year you do that, you'll do about 5 years in prison. Where you're surrounded by men, surrounded by dudes raping each other, guards who are going to beat you up, you know, racist guards, you're going to be put in holes, you might get stabbed like Tory Lanez and so forth. Like a bunch of bad stuff is going to happen, and then you're going to get out and wish you had never done it.
And most of these drug dealers don't even have long runs. Like they don't have 20-year runs.
That's what I'm saying. You get 3 years, you end up getting 15 in prison. It's the worst business decision of all time.
You might have 5 good years.
And then get 25.
That's crazy.
I've interviewed Freeway Ricky. I've interviewed Convertible Bird. You know, I've interviewed a bunch of these dudes. You know, but I also, for example, interviewed the girl that was in the middle of the TK case. And that was crazy. You get to see what real sex trafficking is like.
They definitely gamed us because I'm telling you, you see motherfuckers that got regular jobs and shit like that with nice ass houses and all this type of shit, like where motherfuckers be like, damn, if I would have just stayed the straight and narrow, I'd be better off. You know what I mean? In the long run. But of course, when you're young, you just want it right then. I want it now, and I don't want any kind of delayed gratification. And I think that's part of the problem of our society as well. Is like we don't know how to have delayed gratification. We want shit right then, right now, instant. That's why I microwave, but then you eating microwave food and yeah, you're getting the food right away, but what's it doing to you?